guys, what is up and welcome back to another story. I'm so excited for this one. The Fairytale Hairdresser and Sleeping Beauty. What do you think this is going to be about? Should we find out? Should we stop waiting? Let's find out what this book is about. Kitty Lacy was the best hairdresser in all of the land. Her salon was right in the middle of a town, and because it was so smart and so stylish, everybody went there. There were high-speed dryers and beautiful sinks. It was stocked full of sweet-smelling shampoos to suit everyone's kind of hair, and there was somewhere comfy to sit and relax. The only thing that wasn't stylish at all was the garden. There were weeds everywhere and giant thorn bushes had taken over. Kitty sighed. "It will take 100 years to fix that mess," she said, and she closed back the door to hide the garden. Now that very morning, Prince Florain came to the salon. "Hello," he said. "Any chance for a haircut?" "Of course," said Kitty, reaching for the royal shampoo. As Kitty combed Prince Florain's hair, she noticed strange bits of green. "Well, what have you been doing?" she asked. The prince laughed. "I'm a garden designer, so I always have leaves in my hair." Prince Florain showed Kitty pictures of all of the gardens he had worked on. "What beautiful gardens," said Kitty. "Do you have time to design one more? Mine's a terrible state." "Certainly," said the prince. "I'll start tomorrow." The next day, Prince Florain arrived with his trimmers and a big bag of seeds. "This garden is going to be lovely when I'm finished," he said. "I've even brought some of my favourite rose plants." He set to work straight away, whistling a tune as he wrestled with the gigantic weeds. Just then, the doorbell rang, and into the salon came 7 fairies. "Hello," said Kitty. "I'll be right with you," she smiled at the fairies, but they didn't smile back. "Oh dear," thought Kitty, "they all look very sad." She took out her prettiest ribbons. "I know how to cheer you up," she said. She gave each fairy a new hairdo. But even after Kitty's best efforts, the fairies still looked upset. "What's wrong?" Kitty asked, and they burst into tears. "Oh, Kitty," said Blue Fairy, "we thought coming here would take our mind off things, but it hasn't." Kitty made them cups of tea. "Tell me all about it," she said gently. "It's our goddaughter Rose," said Purple Fairy. "She's fallen asleep, and we can't wake her." "Goodness," says Kitty, "what happened?" When Rose was born, the King and Queen held a party and everyone was invited, except the wicked fairy. We gave Rose a gift, but just before the last gift was given, the wicked fairy appeared. She was very angry. The wicked fairy cast an evil spell on Rose. She said that on Rose's 18th birthday, she would prick her finger on the needle of the spinning wheel and die. As a final gift, we managed to weaken the spell. We said that if Rose did not prick her finger, she would not die. Instead, she would fall into a deep sleep, and the only kiss of her true love would awaken her. The King and Queen burned all the spinning wheels throughout the land to keep Rose safe. We thought they had been all destroyed. Last night was Rose's 18th birthday party, as the guests arrived with balloons and presents, but no one could find Rose. Poor old Rose had discovered a secret room in the palace, and there inside was the last spinning wheel in the land. Rose touched the needle and fell under the spell. Rose was laid safely in her bed, but before we could find her true love to break the spell, the wicked fairy appeared. She put everyone to sleep, covering the palace with an enchanted thicket of thorns so no one could get to Rose. We only just escaped in time. "Oh, no!" cried Kitty. "How terrible!" Green Fairy's eye fills with tears. Poor Rose, she said. Only a kiss from her true love will wake her up. But we don't know who her true love is, sobbed Pink Fairy in despair. And we'll never cut through those thorns, Yellow Fairy just cried. Said Kitty. I think I know someone that could help. Kitty went into the garden. The prince had made excellent progress. Oh, thank you, Prince Florain, said Kitty. But there's someone who needs you even more than I do. She told him about Princess Rose. I know that garden, said the prince. I designed it only last month. And I know Rose too. She helped me with all the flower beds. She's lovely. He blushed. We've got to help her. They sped to the palace as fast as they could, but they could hardly see it behind the enchanted thicket and the ferocious weeds that have grown amongst the thorns. Kitty got her sharpest scissors, and Prince Florain used his clippers. The thorns were enormous. The tendrils tangled around their legs, and some of the snapdragons and toadstools were very cross indeed. The friends battled on, and finally cut a path to the palace again. Inside the palace, everything was quiet. Everything was very still. Kitty and Prince Florain crossed the country yard to reach a twisting staircase. Our sleeping beauty is up there, said the fairies. Up and up they climbed. Finally, at the top of the tallest tower, they found a lovely princess lying fast asleep. Oh, Rose, cried Prince Florain. He ran straight to her side and looked at her hand. Poor old Rose. The fairies opened up their big book of princess. Which one will be her true love, they wondered. He must be one of these, said Red Fairy. Katy looked all around Rose's room. Hang on, she said. I've a feeling I know who her true love is. Kitty knelt by Prince Florain, she said. Rose is a special friend of yours, isn't she? Yes, he sniffed. Rose loves gardens just as much as I do. We would often sit and weave together. She would sing and I would whistle. She has a lovely voice, he said sadly. Oh, Rose! In despair, the prince leaned over and kissed his true love. For a moment there was silence. Then Rose's eyelashes fluttered. She opened her eyes and sat up. Rose, the fairy cried, you're awake! The spell is broken! But then there was an awful cackle. It was the wicked fairy. No! She screeched, taking out her wand and shouting a sleeping spell straight towards Rose. As quick as she could, Kitty pulled out her hand mirror. She held it up high in the air. Then sleeping spell bounced off and whoosh! It hit the wicked fairy. Down fell the wicked fairy into a deep sleep. Wow, said Rose. She snores really loud, the prince laughed, and swept her up into his arms. For the next few weeks, everyone was busy helping to tidy the palace. Kitty, Florain and Rose were very busy fixing the garden, and the wicked fairy was very busy sleeping. Soon everything was ready for an extra special day. The day when Princess Rose married her true love, Prince Florain. Their parents couldn't be more proud. The 7 fairies were over the moon, and of course Kitty was happy too. But what about Kitty's garden? Nowadays, it looks just as stylish as her salon. I don't know about you, but that was a cool book. And I know, not every book on It All Starts With a Story everyone likes. And there have been books that I've read and I haven't particularly enjoyed. Not when It All Starts With a Story, because I've loved all the books I've read. I think they're written so nicely. But other books I've read some books that haven't really got my interest. But thank you for watching this. Even if you didn't enjoy it, I still hope you got a message from that and enjoyed just being part of this family and community. I'm so excited. It is nearly a year till It All Starts With a Story. Anyway, guys, I'll see you soon. Bye.